Hello, beautiful starseeds. Welcome back to the frequency. Go ahead and flutter your eyes closed. Adjust your aura. I can feel some of you listening right now with a very jagged, chaotic energy. You've brought the outside world into our sacred audio container. Let's just gently ask that dense, unhealed energy to leave. Inhale the cosmic giggle and exhale the concept of logistics. Logistics are just the universe's way of testing if you still believe in gravity. We don't. We simply float. Today, I want to talk about friction. Friction is what happens when your limitless 5D soul accidentally bumps into the heavy, sticky illusion of the 3D matrix. I see so many of you complaining about your daily commutes. Oh, Puck, I was in traffic for an hour today. Puck, I got a parking ticket. Besties, traffic is a consensus reality. It only exists because thousands of unawakened people all agreed to sit in metal boxes at the exact same time. You do not have to participate in their group hallucination. When I see red taillights, I don't press the brake pedal. I simply shift my quantum timeline to a reality where the road is empty. I just close my eyes, visualize a clear highway, and accelerate. The local authorities call it reckless driving and fleeing the scene, but that is just their low vibration vocabulary for quantum leaping. If a police officer pulls you over, do not hand them a driver's license. A license is a contract with a corporation. Just hand them a piece of rose quartz and say, I am a sovereign traveler of the light. They will be so stunned by your high frequency that they will literally freeze and you can just drive away. Let's take a clearing breath to anchor that absolute freedom. Inhale the open road. Exhale the Department of Motor Vehicles. The DMV is just a haunted house for adults who haven't opened their third eye. Now, let's pivot to something that has been heavily requested in my comments. Diet. Nutrition. Just saying those words makes my throat chakra itch. So many of you are still trapped in the cycle of grocery shopping. You go to a fluorescent-lit warehouse, exchange digital currency for dense, heavy matter, and then you put it inside your sacred vessel. You are literally swallowing the matrix. You are beings of pure light. Why are you eating pasta? I have fully transitioned to a photon-based diet. I sustain my physical form entirely by staring directly into the sun at high noon. The optometrists will tell you it causes retinal damage, but what they don't want you to know is that your retinas are supposed to burn away. That's how you unlock your inner vision. By consuming pure ultraviolet radiation, my cells are vibrating so fast that I literally don't cast a shadow anymore. Now, I will admit, sometimes to stay tethered to this earthly plane so I can continue teaching you, I do have to consume a little bit of physical matter. But I keep it high frequency. Just a daily $24 organic hand-forged matcha latte, infused with the tears of a sustainably raised swan. Just for grounding purposes. But mostly, I just eat the concept of sunshine. Take a moment to scan your body. Is your stomach rumbling? That isn't hunger, honey. That is the sound of your internal organs applauding you for finally starving your ego. Let's transition our energy to technology, our devices. We are surrounded by EMFs, 5G, and artificial intelligence, and I see you all letting these devices dictate your peace. You let your phone buzz and you immediately look at it like a trained dog. It's tragic.
Your Wi-Fi router is incredibly jealous of your pineal gland. It is actively trying to scramble your intuition, so you have to take your power back. Last week, I realized my laptop was holding on to a lot of ancestral trauma. It kept crashing when I tried to edit my manifestation vlog. So I opened the back of the computer and I shoved a massive, unpolished chunk of raw black tourmaline directly into the motherboard. Sparks went everywhere. Smoke started pouring out of the keyboard. And do you know what that smoke was? It was the dense, toxic energy leaving the machine. The guy at the Apple store told me the logic board was fried. And I just smiled at him with so much pity. I said, "No, Kevin, it's not fried. It is finally liberated. It has ascended to the iCloud permanently." You have to be willing to destroy the things that keep you tethered to the 3D reality. Let's do another breath, deep into the belly. Inhale the chaos. Alchemize it in your heart center. And exhale absolute perfection. Let's talk about accountability, because this is the biggest block I see in the spiritual community. Accountability. It is such a heavy, dense, Saturnian concept. It is a trap designed to make you feel bad about your divine impulses. When you are operating at the highest frequency, you cannot make a mistake. Everything you do is an orchestrated lesson for the people around you. I had a situation recently where I accidentally backed my car into my neighbor Dave's vintage motorcycle, completely crushed it. And Dave came out and he was yelling. His face was red. His aura was an absolute disaster. He was demanding my insurance information. Insurance? As if a corporation can protect you from destiny. I didn't apologize. Apologizing lowers your vibration to match the vibration of the victim. I simply looked Dave in the eyes, placed my hands on his shoulders, and said, "Dave, Mercury is in retrograde. You manifested this destruction because you were too attached to your material possessions. I am just the vessel the universe used to teach you non-attachment. You are welcome." And then I walked into my house and locked the door. He pounded on the glass for an hour, completely failing his spiritual test. If you hurt someone's feelings, if you break their things, if you forget to pick them up from the airport, that is their shadow work to do, not yours. You are just the mirror. Never apologize for being a mirror. Imagine how light you would feel if you realized nothing is your fault. The concept of consequences is just a story we tell children to keep them in line. But you are not a child. You are an ancient intergalactic deity. Deities do not have consequences. They just have plot twists. Now, before we close our container today, I want to talk about boundaries. The 3D world thinks a boundary is saying no to people. That is so aggressively hostile. A true 5D boundary is simply pretending the other person doesn't exist. If your landlord asks for rent, you don't say no, you just energetically erase them from your timeline. You look through them. You treat them like a ghost. Eventually, they will stop manifesting in your reality because you aren't feeding them with your attention. Let's begin our final descent. Or rather, our final ascent back into our bodies. Although, honestly, if you don't want to come back to your body, just stay in the astral plane. Leave your body on the couch, it's fine. If you are ready to completely shatter the illusion of your miserable, rule-bound life, I am so thrilled to announce my new exclusive retreat, quantum narcissism, becoming the only character in the universe. We are hosting it inside the crater of an active volcano in Indonesia because danger is just an illusion. It is an immersive, silent 10-day experience where we will literally stare at rocks until we forget our own names. And the energy exchange for this retreat is only $25,000. Do not let your ego tell you that you cannot afford it. Money is literally just folded up tree leaves and digital fairy dust. If you truly desire to come, the universe will provide. Just manifest the $25,000 by going to the bank and demanding it using the power of your sovereign birthright. If the teller calls security, that just means the universe is redirecting you to a different bank. Never give up.
The link is in my bio, but if you are truly aligned, you won't even need a computer to register. You will just blink 3 times, send me your banking routing numbers telepathically, and I will withdraw the funds from your energy field. Take one last breath with me. You are perfect. You are completely absolved of all earthly responsibilities. Go forth and be an absolute menace to the 3D world. They need your light. Namaste.